With a yo-ho-ho, it's TaleOfTheToaster. Welcome back to Let's Play Inazuma 11 Go Light for Chapter 2. Come on, JP, pick up the pace.
I'm Jonathan Pierce and I'm one of the fastest commentators in the history of football. You can't tell me to hurry up.
I wonder if that's... It's not intentional, but it's a strong coincidence that his name abbreviates to JP, one of the best names in British football.
That's all for today's meeting. Saints Way, the biggest middle school football tournament in the country, is approaching. I expect you all to be on top form.
Are we still going to enter Saints Way this year, even though we've got so few players left in the club?
Genio, we have to enter. Otherwise, all this stuff we've put up with until now will have been for nothing.
But we're in 5th sector's bad books. We've no hope of winning this year. They'll probably have us knocked out in the first round.
That's ridiculous. We came second in the national tournament last year. They wouldn't do that to us, surely.
I understand you're all worried about the club. It's my responsibility to get things back on track. We're going to start training the new members today, right?
Yes. But they're total beginners. They can hardly kick the ball straight.
Well, I don't think we were any different when we started either. Anyway, those two have something really special. I can feel it. That's what Coach Travis said too.
Chapter 2, A Foregone Conclusion.
I still can't believe how huge the stadium is. It might take a while to get used to all of this.
You can say that again? Hey, we're supposed to meet everyone in the atrium today. Allez, on y va!
Oh, JP's accent. It does make me laugh. I just hope you don't all hate listening to me. But it wasn't me who decided to make him French. It was the game. I can't just ignore the fact that he literally speaks French. Oh wow, we get to talk to each of these guys individually. That's interesting. I'll take a moment to... Well, of course, Ricardo's not going to say anything. We would speak to Coach Travis to move things along, or to Celia.
Everyone, these two here are the new recruits. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. God, my name is Jean-Pierre Lapin, and I'm a first year. I used to play in defense in primary school. I promise you my best. Merci.
I'm Arian Sherwin. I'm in first year too. I really like football. I'm going to do my absolute best as well. Yeah, good to meet you.
Brats.
And then we're just gonna get a really happy jingle to follow that one up. No one's even gonna address the fact he just said something that mean, but okay.
Excuse me? My name's Sky Blue. If it's no trouble, I'd like to sign up as manager. Oui, génial! You serious like that? Yeah. Well. Huh? Looks like you beat us to it. Hello, Sky. Oh, you're joining too? Yeah. Got it in one. We'll be great. I'm sure we will. Guess we've got it all sorted, eh, girls? So you're really going to be a manager? Yep. I'm going to work hard and do my part for the team. So it looks like we're going to have 3 managers this year. Make them all feel welcome, you lot. I'm Rosie Red, a second year. I hope we can become good friends. I'm Jay Green, and I'm not just going to be your manager. I'm going to be Arian's personal cheerleading squad. You hear that, Arian? I'll be cheering you on, so don't you dare let me down. Oh, I'll go and fetch some kits for you. I'll just be a moment. While you're waiting, why don't you go and talk to the others? Your teammates now, after all.
Yeah, that sounds pretty nice considering we're in part 6 of the series and also chapter 2 of the game. We can now access all the multiplayer features and, more importantly, meet our teammates. But let's try and speak to the managers first, because that cutscene where we met them all, oh, I loved listening to that, because Jade Green just has one of my favourite voices in video games. I have never heard a Liverpudlian in a video game ever, but they decided to do it. And as I said in a previous episode, Liverpudlian females is not the easiest voice for me to do, but
I can quite easily do a fairly high-pitched Italian. Why do we have 2 Italians on the team?
I'm Riccardo Di Rigo, a midfielder in second year. I also have the honor of serving as your captain. It's a shame that you joined at such a difficult time, Arion. But I promise to get this club back on its feet.
Rick, you should relax a little. Putting the club back together isn't just your responsibility. We have to help too. My name is Gabriel Garcia, second-year defender. We need all the help we can get right now, so you'd better get up to speed fast, okay?
nah, it does make sense. These guys have been friends for a long time, so it makes sense that they're both kind of Italian-themed. But man, as if the video I made covering the entirety of Inazuma 11-3 Lightning Bolt wasn't enough, you get more Italian accents for 2 whole games!
So you really joined the club, huh?
Oh, is that it?
Raimon, it's the new lad. Yo, Reed. I'm Addy Kibbe. I'm in second year. You'll probably see me running about in midfield. Hello, I'm a second-year midfielder as well. Eugene Peabody. It's unfortunate we joined just as everything started going downhill.
You might say it was pretty fortunate, actually, since it meant he slipped into the first team straight away.
That's our esteemed teammate Michael Balzac. He's a second-year forward, and, well, he's always like that. You'll get used to it. By the rear, I ain't a fishing. I know some belter spots. We should go and do them and see if we could get us a couple of proper waters like.
You know how I said Jade Green had one of my favourite accents in video games? Yeah, she's not even got the best one in this game. Addy Kibbe's voice is just phenomenal. He's a Geordie. He's got a Newcastle accent, if you're not familiar with the UK's voices. I actually live an hour away from Newcastle, so I hear those very unique voices in real life, and I am very excited to give it a crack. Well, that was a lot easier.
I'm still pretty surprised a complete amateur like you made it into the club.
Hey, Dodge. The new guy's come to say hello.
So you're in the club now, huh? Doug MacArthur, third year forward. Do what you like, but if you break the rules, you'll be sorry.
Maybe we should go easy on them, Dodge. No one's told them what the rules are yet. Just do your best, boys, alright?
Fair enough. He didn't sound like I expected him to, but yeah, we've got Lars and Sven and Dodge, who's got an American accent, so that's pretty easy for me. But speaking of regional accents, I'll go through these first.
What position do you play?
Aaron's a midfielder, actually.
Our footy club ain't for the faint-hearted, you know. You better be ready to put in a real effort.
I'm Sanguk Han, a goalie in the third year.
I'm Subaru Honda. I'm a defender, ain't I?
And I'm Wan Li Chan Chen. I'm in third year, and I play in defence too. As if you guys are going to get the first team kit already. You're so lucky. Bosh!
He's not joking neither. It was ages before they let me play on the first team.
Yeah, but listen, the main reason you're on the first team already is because we're so short on players. But whatever, just do your best, okay?
So what I was going to say about accents, I love that they're so varied, and it's actually something that a lot of players complain about with this game, because nothing in the Japanese source material suggests that these players are actually from different countries. That's something that only the dub came up with. But I think it makes total sense, because this is supposed to be one of the most esteemed football clubs in the country. Even Arian Sherwind himself has canonically come all the way from Okinawa just to be in this team. The JP is actually feeding us a tutorial, which is a fairly useful one, because sometimes your players do end up in the wrong position. So what we need to do is make sure that Sam is actually a goalkeeper in the battle formation. So let's go through that one more time. Tactics, then formations, and then the R button, and we can get that right. So yeah, we got to put the goalkeeper in goal, as you might expect. But yeah, it makes sense that people would come from all walks of life to be at this school.
I can't believe we're going to get to wear the first team kit so soon. I don't care if it's only because they don't have enough players. I'm still over the moon. I can't wait to play in it. Thanks for waiting, boys. Here are your new kits. Wow! Our own kits! Thanks so much! I hope mine shrinks in the wash.
Okay, let's start today's training. Everyone, to the pitch.
This is amazing! I'm finally getting a chance to train with a team.
Whoa, 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 not so fast. First years have a separate training program, you know.
Oh, really?
Of course, you can't just turn up and expect to keep up with the rest of us from the beginning. You need to knock down the basics first, right?
Oh, okay. It's just, I really look up to you guys, and I was hoping we'd get to train together. Yeah, me too. But hey, since we're here, why don't we watch? Looks like they're getting started.
And this is a weird thing they did. The Raimon 11 left and they are now out of your main team, it says. Which is just a really pointless mechanic. I'm going to open the menu and we can see, yeah, JP's following us, so he's in. Everyone else, Ricardo, Sam and Gabby, are out. But despite that, if you have a random encounter, they'll still be with you anyway. So it genuinely means absolutely nothing. I don't know why they did it, but they did.
So this is the first team in action. I used to think my jumping ability was pretty impressive, but these guys just take your breath away.
Yeah, it just makes me want to practice as much as possible so I can get on the pitch and train with everyone else.
Ugh, that looks so tedious.
Victor Blade will be joining the team today, boys.
What? I truly am looking forward to working with you, Captain.
Is this another order from 5th Sector?
That is not your concern, Travis. Now, one of you, fetch a kit for Blade.
That's the Raimon kit. Show it some respect. It's not as nice as the blue shirts from Inazuma National, or even the yellow kits from the original series. I happen to find it quite a downgrade.
How dare you! It's true though, that is genuinely what I think.
I'm going to go now. Cooperate with Blade. That's an order.
Ah,
I don't have any arms.
could things get any worse? He's going to destroy us. I just know it.
Ah, how are you?
We're doomed. Doomed, I tell you. Everyone, get back to training. You first years had better get over to the training spot. One of the managers is waiting for you there. Arion? Hey, Victor. Us first years have to go and do some basic training. Since you're new, shouldn't you come with us? Is that a joke? I won't be training with you, and I certainly won't be playing matches with you.
Why have you joined the club then? Didn't you come to play football?
Come on, Arion. Don't get worked up about him. He's not worth it. He's not from Maybelline, which is actually a French brand, which is what makes that so amusing. C'est pas là, by the tennis courts. I wonder what kind of training they've got in store for us.
And we just get an ominous message to tell us something we already knew. Can we actually speak to them? Yeah, they're busy training, so we can't speak to them. So just to sum up the accents, I think it's magnificent for me as a Let's Player, because imagine coming up with like 13 brand new accents after already doing 3 Let's Plays in the Inazuma 11 series. It just completely did my job for me. Most of them are doable, just not Jade, but I'm going to try. Now, something that's really worth showing off here, random encounters work very, very differently. And they're actually much, much better. See, as we said before, Gabby and Ricardo are currently out of the main squad, but we've got them back anyway. Oh, it's a don't lose the ball one. Oh dear, I was trying to go for goal and I didn't even realise. And then I've kicked the ball away. Yeah, these are generally a lot harder to do, so I'm surprised we're getting one straight off the bat. But random encounters are no longer just found in the field like they were in the first 3 games. There was no repels in the old games either, so they were completely unavoidable. Instead, they're not random encounters at all. You just speak to people in the overworld if they have a versus symbol above them, and you can play football with them. Which means I won't be doing very many of these battles throughout the Let's Play. I'll just do them off screen mostly. But yeah, so that's it. The accents thing, it's designed purely for the dub. It was the idea of the localization team, but it makes complete sense because this is a very established school who people would migrate to. And it's just funny, so I don't mind it at all. What we're going to do now is a little bit of special training, which is actually its own thing on the menu screen, despite it being very straightforward stuff. This has been in all 3 Inazuma 11 games. We've actually seen an update to the A-Natter, so let's have a look at that first. This is the natural advancement of the blog from the first 3 games. It's now more like Twitter, with Zeppy here, looking forward to chatting to you all, #football forever. They actually use hashtags such as rules are there for a reason. I love Victor. Apparently I'm getting these messages too. Ugh. How are you, man? I reckon they'll be alright, like. Give them a chance. I'm obviously not going to be reading these out loud for many other chances, but I love the A-Natter. It's not the best version of the blog in Inazuma 11 history. Look forward to the next game for the best blog of all time. But the A-Natter, it's just so funny. And it's updated very regularly. So I will be sure to pretty much show off every line in there because I think it's fantastic. Now, this special training spot is there to raise stamina. You can raise the stamina of everyone you want. Let's spend some money on Lars. And rather than it just working perfectly every time in exchange for money, as was the case in the first 3 games, it now works as a bit more of a roulette. And it's not timing based, it is just pure luck. But we'll try with Sven. What I want to try and show is anything other than excellent. But I think it's kind of rigged in our favour. Maybe if I try and train Sven twice, then we'll get a different result. Victor's level 6, so he actually significantly over-levels everyone else on the squad. Yeah, so that's a good, which still raised our stats by a fairly significant amount. It would be really nice if I got to get a whoops, because that's obviously the worst upgrade that you could possibly get. It's still gives you a mild upgrade of your stats, I think, or at least it doesn't do anything to harm them. I ran out of money! Well, that's it. I was looking for a whoops, and I got one in the end. Just in a very different way. I've literally bankrupted myself by spending it all on Sven.
I wouldn't have thought you'd get tired out so easily, Arian. Do better next time.
Okay, Jade, sorry.
Hey, Sky, we have a friendly match coming up, and there's all sorts of things that we need to prepare. Could you come give me a hand?
Oh, friendly? I wonder who that's going to be against.
Well, if you really think about it, if you think you've done enough training for today, you can head over to the stadium and get the details from Miss Hills.
Now, I know that's not the best cliffhanger exactly, but in the next episode of Let's Play Inazuma 11 Go Light, we'll see what this friendly match is all about while I explore the tennis courts. First time we've had a tennis court in an Inazuma 11 game since the very first one, and I got into this series because of tennis in the first place. I mentioned that in my Q&A video from a while ago, but for those who are new to the channel, the whole reason I started playing Inazuma 11 in the first place was because I grew up playing Mario Tennis Power Tour, a very similar thing, just original characters in a sports-themed story. Inazuma 11 was the natural step up for that. So now that we've seen Ricardo Di Rigo's special shot, Fortissimo Foot, that's going to be it for this episode, part 6. In the next one, we will go to the stadium